I'm joined by John Dog Callister. It is Challenge Tuesday. All will be revealed about that a little bit later. But Dog, you've brought somebody with you.
I brought the fish with me.
You've brought the fish with you.
That's got caught.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more bizarre. Fish, welcome. Is that your real name?
No, not a real name, but everybody calls me Fish. Yeah.
Do you fish? Is fish something?
No, and to be honest, I'm the only non-swimming fish in the whole world.
So you genuinely don't swim?
No.
Well, you do well on an island then.
No, there's no need to swim. You have a ferry.
Good point, yeah.
And you come over most years, do you, to marshal at the TT?
Yes.
How long have you been coming for?
I started coming in 1996, and since then, every single year. Even in 2001, when you had the foot and mouth. Yeah.
And what is it that brings you back year on year then?
To be honest, most of my friends over here, I think this is in the first place, the friends. And I like to see them at least once a year. And then the bikes, of course, and all around, so the whole party around it.
And how did you meet Dog then?
He came to the Glenwillan campsite in 96 on a Ducati. He borrowed, he said, huh?
Yep.
And he asked me and my friends, why are you staying on this campsite? I said, because we just arrived and had no idea where to go. And so he told us to go to the Kirkmichael Football Club. And since 1997, yeah, I stayed there. Not for the last year and this year, but I think the 20 years in between I was there.
And when you're marshalling, do you have a particular spot that you marshal at each time?
Usually Alpine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first day ever, so it was again John's fault that I marshal. The first day ever, I was with John at Ballath, and from then on, usually to the Chief Sector Marshal Kevin Quinn, yeah, and at Alpine, yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in this afternoon. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. We might get you involved in the challenge as well, because Dog, on a Tuesday, we always invite somebody in who challenges us to make something. What are you going to get us to make?
Well, I'm making 3 legses at the minute. Do you pluralise that or 3 legs?
3
Zs? Yeah, 3 legs. S, the apostrophe S. Out of copper. I make them out of rushes as well. So I've been making loads of them. Technically on the wireless, it's the wireless to me, not a radio. On the wireless, it's not really a visual thing. If you
Oh,
understand
don't you
me.
worry, we've got cameras.
Right. But I brought a little clump of wire, and I can make one while we're here. And obviously you've got a couple anyway to show people what the completed one looks like.
They're
They
fantastic.
are stunning. And we've also got a tiny little Bumby cage.
Bumby cage made out of copper as well.
Just remind us what the significance of a Bumby cage is.
Bumblebees, the story is bumblebees were bad fairies, naughty fairies, done something wrong. And children were shown how to make a bumby cage out of rushes, traditionally out of rushes. And you would, it's like a handle, and then I suppose like a bowl on the top, a shape on the top, and you'd make it all but. You'd leave a gap at the top. You'd sit by a foxglove, wait for a bumblebee to go inside the foxglove. That's if you didn't want to be, if you didn't like handling them, and you would put the foxglove to the entrance to the hole. The bumblebee would go inside, and then you would shut it up so you'd have a bumblebee trapped inside. Now, remember, children were told bumblebee was a bad fairy, a naughty fairy. What would happen at night when the children had gone to bed? Mother or father would open it up. You just undo the top, let the bumblebee go, and then put a stone or a shell inside, so that they would then have a they would still have a rattle, but they were told that the bumblebee had been changed back into a fairy because he'd been caught and been taught a lesson. So it's a great thing. I've been with a crowd of people, Americans for example, on a cruise ship, and you make something and you've got them eating out of your hand. Yeah,
It's just a brilliant thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
And
Now,
you've brought
obviously,
in some little, tiny ones here made out of copper that are absolutely beautiful, and they've got tiny little shells in,
there's
like
a periwinkle in there, or
shells.
fagog,
Yeah.
fagog or fagog as they call it. Periwinkle Shore is north of Peel, near to where the old swimming pool used to be. This is going around the headland, and that's Fagog, and Fagog is periwinkle, which is what's inside there.
They're
There we
beautiful.
go.
They are
And
beautiful.
they are whistles. If you put them in between your fingers, you can make a whistle.
Oh, I
out of
remember
them.
seeing
And
you
I
try to do that.
forgot
I
to bring-
could never
I
do
forgot
it.
to bring one with me to show you.
Well,
Oh.
I'm going to commission him to make a series
They're
of
just
these in
beautiful.
different sizes that I can use when I'm gigging.
And just very quickly, how long would it take you to make something like that?
A copper one, probably 5 minutes.
Oh gosh, 5 minutes.
I think I've done a rush one in about 3 minutes. It's not the best one I've made in 3 minutes, but I could knock them out fairly quickly. The copper is a little bit more preparation and a little bit more, particularly the handle, maybe longer. The handle is difficult to get the handle nice and neat and right and correct. But, you know, it's once you've sorted that, it's a
Piece of
piece
cake.
of cake.
Piece of cake. I should say Fish would be a brilliant manager for Dog here because he keeps suggesting different things he can do with it, such as it could potentially be an earring.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or it could be a key ring. You could put it on your keys.
Could be like a little microphone.
Yeah, because this and the beautiful 3 legs as well, they've each got little hooks on, you see, so you can actually hooks on.
Get it
It's a
right.
hook.
So
I
you
make hooks, not hooks.
Oh,
Hooks.
We're going to be
They've
told off
got
a lot.
hooks on, so yes, you can hang them up in different places.